high-tech oils. Available from Auto One, Sprint Auto Parts, and all leading independent auto stores.
Round 2 of the IROC Challenge Series gets underway this weekend. And one driver keen to make a splash at the island is Greg KEENE. A 25-year veteran of the sport, KEENE can't contain his enthusiasm for classic Porsche racing.
I just love the marque. You know, they're an iconic car. It's probably the only car in the world that you can go buy a showroom car and with very little modification put it on a racetrack. And, you know, what is it? 85% of Porsches ever built are still on the road. I think that says everything. I've had a lot of very, very exciting moments on the track. Obviously, Bathurst, you know, from the moment you leave the pit lane till the moment you come back, that's just excitement plus, plus, plus. Began about 25 years ago when I told my wife I was going to go racing for a maximum of 3 years. And I better announce from the start she beats me as often, or some people would say more often than I beat her. She comes from a racing family. Both her father and her brothers have all raced cars, and she knows more about racing than I do, I think. We cooperate pretty nicely, and when we're out on the track, we kiss each other with a little touch occasionally, but we'd certainly give each other room if it got really serious. IROC's a fantastic series, and it'll go from strength to strength. It's really well run. The people who are in it are all fantastic people. People like John Bowe and Jim Richards and all those guys who have just been in motor racing forever. They are fantastic to be with. This track and Eastern Creek and Bathurst are the iconic tracks in this country. So yeah, Porsches are made for this sort of track.
We're back at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit for our continued coverage of the Shannon's Australian Motor Racing Nationals round 6 today. The IROC Challenge Series Porsches are on track, and we've added a bit of a twist here, Richard Crail. The local Victorian Porsche 944 Challenge guys are in the field, something I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, great to have them as part of it, and they're very, very competitive too. Their own race within a race. It's Sven Boycott who starts this one from pole position. Greg KEENE alongside him. Adam Mills, the first of the 944s, alongside Cameron Bella. It's a mixed up grid. It's an exciting grid. It's a good looking grid too. A full grid of Porsches at Phillip Island. We're underway. It's KEENE in the white, Boycott's in the orange, and they're racing.
Greg KEENE's been very busy today. Just jumped out of his sports racer car. We ride on board with him for a split second as the field of Porsches head down to turn 1 on lap 1.
Graham Cook with a good start in that second of the orange cars. There's Rob Black, the South Australian, in car number 5, in and amongst the big 944 grid through turn 1 and turn 2. This 944 series, it's like HQ Holdings for Porsches. It's a category that's been strong, competitive. It's got longevity, great motor racing. It's been so good, and it's great to see them get some national limelight.
It's a category, and if I could use a personal moment here, that actually kick-started my career back in 2001. Whoa. And great to have them on TV here today as we see the move on KEENE down the inside here on Sven Burkhardt's, who we jump on board with the Angry 911. That's a familiar sound.
It sounds amazing, doesn't it? Great start, Cookie, to get up to 3rd place. 2 of the top 3 former successful racers in the GT3 Cup Challenge. Greg KEENE in Porsche Cup back in the day, and some Carrera Cup success as well. Has a great run through the Hayshed there on the local driver. These two, remember back at Winton at the opening round, that's a big slide. They exchanged race victories there. Very entertaining stuff. And it looks like this battle continuing. Big lock up from Cook. The run down into MG on cold tyres.
Feels like I'm back in 1996 again, seeing Greg KEENE back out in the 911 Porsche. The field comes out of turn, or the back section of the circuit here. So keep in mind, there's going to be 2 races within the 1 here. The 911's out here, the IROC Challenge Series, which we saw at Winton early this year. They had a state round at Mallala as well in South Australia.
And more cars being built as we see some positions changing a little bit further back. On board with Sven.
So cool, aren't they? The rear engine 911s braking for Southern Loop. He's still got Greg KEENE all over the back of him in car number 8.
Greg's giving him a big run here. So the IROC Challenge, if you're not familiar with IROC, it means International Race of Champions. It was run in the States from 1974 through to the late 2000s. where they gathered a whole group of the best racers from America and around the world, put them in identical cars as KEENE takes the lead with a big move into Honda. Put them in identical cars that started out with Porsches in 74.5, and to find out who was the best of the very best. And this series modelled on those cars. So 3.6 litre Porsche flat six, the big whale tail, the flared guards, that noise, that look.
And that sound of braking when they get to the top here, that squeal, which is common with these 911s. And Burkhardt's all over the back of KEENE here. They've disappeared from the field. In fact, it's a 944 that's up there in third position, just showing how strong those cars are.
And KEENE defending pretty stoutly here. Big break down the inside and covers off his racing line. Incidentally, that first IROC in the state, 74.5, helped set up by Roger Penske through his Porsche connections. Of course, they were big in Can-Am racing in the States with the famous Porsches back in the day, and ironically, IROC 1 was won by the great Mark Donoghue.
Look at Burkhardt with the run, goes straight past Greg KEENE, and that looked too easy for the 90 to go past car number 8. He's taken the lead and already put a big margin, so maybe a missed gear on the 8 car.
Yeah, at the very least, he didn't get a good run out of 11 and 12, did he, Greg KEENE? And it's just dropped him back from Sven Boykaerts, who grabs the lead.
And it's let the Adam Mills car, the RXP number 11 Porsche 944, get into this battle too. Run in third. In fact, they're third, fourth, fifth, and sixth at the moment.
Mills won the 944 battle and was third outright in race 1, held on Saturday afternoon. 944 is a great category, isn't it? Victorian state-based category, but it's been so strong for so long, and great drivers have come out of it and emerged onto a national level. You have to think of guys like Kane Rose and Richard Muscat, who's now a front runner in Carrera Cup and reigning Australian GT champion, came out of Porsche 944 racing.
Same too with Elliot Barber, even Eric Banner had a couple of years in this category back in the early 2000s. There's Lee Partridge in car 27. Now, if memory serves me correct, John Goddard used to drive that. Plaza Auto Sales fame out of Bendigo. Good to see them still running around. Here's one of the original pioneers of 944 racing back in 2000.
So there's one lap to go for Sven Boykaerts out in front, continuing to pull away. And that's dramas for the 3, parked to the side of the road. Jason Miller will take no further part in this second of 3 races.
Final lap now for our leaders. Let's look some of the 944 cars further back in the field here.
Perfect day for motor racing at Phillip Island with the Shannon's Nationals, and it's been great over the years. The Nationals has been the home of giving new race categories an opportunity to get on the national scene, and state level categories the opportunity to showcase their wares on perhaps a bigger stage than usual, and that's certainly been the case with the IROC Challenge.
Burkhart's big strong margin now, it's over 10 seconds. We got past Greg KEENE. 1:44.08, the fastest lap of the race here for Sven Burkhardt as he speeds his way around past the hay shed on the left-hand side there. It's not just a name we've made up, it's been there probably longer than the racetrack has.
I think they'd be right if they removed that from there, and the name would certainly remain. So the final few corners for Sven, who'll grab another victory after an early battle with Greg KEENE. It's been a very, very solid drive by the Melbourneian. Former Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge Australia winner, won his class in Australian GT as well. Very handy racing car driver. He's going to get a victory in the IROC Challenge here at Phillip Island.
And he can just cruise down the Gardner Straight. There's a wave yellow, but it doesn't matter. The checkered flag comes out and Burkhardt wins race 2 of the IROC Challenge Series here today. It's going to be nearly 12 seconds by the time Greg KEENE gets the finish line down here in car number 8.
Good solid performance though, and showed that he's got plenty of speed to race. Here's the battle of the 944s a little bit further back, racing all the way to the line. That one will be very, very close. Really close.
Only a tenth of a second at the end, but it was Burkhardt's 1 and 2 for the IROC cars. Adam Mills first of the Porsche 944s, home in third. Back to Bella. Chris Lewis-Williams, defending 944 champions next, and the rest of the field. Well done to Sven Burkhardt.
Qualified P1, won the race yesterday, won today, so look, doesn't get any better. So it's fantastic, thank you.
Great racing in the IROC Challenge so far here at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit in the Shannon's Australian Motor Racing Nationals, and great to have the Porsche 944 Challenge joining the field this weekend. Here's how they start for the finale. It's Boycarts and KEENE 1 and 2. Mills, Bella and Lewis Williams have been fighting their own private little battle for the Porsche 944s, just tacking on to the back of those two leading IROC Challenge races, and that should continue into this third and final race. But orange and white on the front row, Boycarts and KEENE. It's been a good battle so far. Look at the start from the 944. Good jump. The power of the big 3.6 litre 911s though.
Who was that going through the field?
That was Graham Cook,
wow,
who didn't finish race one but got a brilliant start and storms his way through in this one in car number 65.
Rob Black trying to carve his way as well. Burkhart's didn't get the start he wanted because Greg KEENE has got the race lead here in Southern Loopers. Got some two wide action here on the IROC cars with Chris Lewis Williams, defending champ in 944 Challenge, rounding him up on the way to Southern Loop.
Looking out the back of Rob Black's entry, it's the blue number 5 car. Look at Cookie charging his way through the 944s, and Rob getting gobbled up too on the run into the braking zone. So it's really busy through the field. Two different types of race car mixing it up in the IROC Challenge and the classic Porsche field. It's amazing, isn't it? Porsche racing in Australia at the moment. Carrera Cup going strong. Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge that runs with the Shannon's National so strong, and now 20 classic Porsches on the grid in the space of 2 weeks. That's 73 different Porsches racing at a national level in Australia. It's such a strong brand.
Tony Westaway going down the inside of Rob Black here in car 50. So 944 just moving up another position here on car 5 of Rod Black, the Samex sponsored number 5 on the run down to MG.
And Cook, after that flying start, looking to go through as well. Rory O'Neill just on the back of the field, struggling a little bit this weekend in car number 13. We jump on board his entry, brand new car for IROC Challenge. Competitor formerly from the Touring Car Masters category. The IROC Challenge remains a class within TCM, and some of them will jump back into the TCM grid for the Bathurst 1000 a little bit later on this year. Chris Lewis Williams looking for a pass. He's in car number 1. He's the defending champion and gets it done down at turn 1. That's a nice move.
Pretty textbook stuff, wasn't it? Left it to the last minute, pulled out and made the pass stick down that very high speed right-hander into turn 1. Ahead of Lee Partridge now, the 99 starting to get involved. This is Graham Smith in the Hazard Solutions entry.
Cameron Bella still doing a good job in this battle for the 944s too. Adam Mills has been the class of that. Here's the outright lead, and for IROC Challenge, KEENE in a repeat of his move from race 1. Great drive around the outside at turn 4 and wrestles the lead away from Sven. So good move by Greg.
It's like he had a bite, didn't he? Just a little bite coming out of Honda Hairpin. He slots back in behind the 8. Gets a better run now out of Siberia. But KEENE has the better line here. Just inches the car back over onto the racing line. There's that famous squeal.
Oh, they sound great, these things, don't they? Unbelievable noise. So KEENE holds on in front. What about Sven in the braking to MG? KEENE very, very wide. You need to be cautious going wide into that corner when you've got a car going up the inside, because that's where contact occurs. The Sportsmed SA car holds on the inside.
Oh, this is good, and they're going to stay side by side here. Burkharts will pull in behind and try and get the toe on the Gardner straight here.
They're doing 144s around this place. They're not slow, these cars. Good drive off the corner, side by side, down Gardner Straight, towards the seaside.
Nothing wrong with the straight line speed of the Sportsman entry, and moves the car back across. This is a great battle for the lead. And Burkharts is having to work for this one. KEENE, using all that experience, over 20 years of experience in Porsche racing, holds on that position now in Southern Loop.
Interesting to note their choice of side to drive on these cars. Sven's got the right-hand drive option. Greg electing to sit on the left of his entry. I don't know if there's anything special in that, but just the way it's panned out, opposite to track, it seems, at the front of the IROC Challenge field. Back to the battle of the 944s.
Tony Westaway right in the middle of this pack. With the 99 behind of Graham Smith. So this is the battle inside the top 10. The leader of the 944 is still Adam Mills. You see the background of that shot as the leaders come out of MG once again.
KEENE holding on in front. This really good battle continues. This is where Sven has traditionally been really strong through the high-speed stuff. He's got car 90 set up very, very well. Should mention it's a shame not to see Rowan Little, Sven's teammate here this weekend, had a crash at the most recent round of this series at Malala, a state championship round. Repairs underway on that car and we'll see them back for the remainder of the season. 1 to go, KEENE in front of Sven Boykarts.
Not much of a margin yet. I think Burkhart's has got a couple of good passing opportunities still, if he's going to do it.
Sven so into this category. He's got a very, very similar spec 911 as his road car, painted bright yellow as distinct from the orange, but he certainly lives what he races. To Sven, massive Porsche fan, as this fight continues. This has been going all race long.
It's Partridge in the Plaza Auto Sales entry down the inside of the 50.
Yeah, Westaway.
Tony Westaway, yeah.
Let's drop the spot down into turn 1. It's been a popular overtaking spot in the 944s, hasn't it, this motor race?
I have to say, having seen these cars in well over 10 years, the speed of these cars, they've found at least 3 or 4 seconds of pace. They're lapping the 147s compared to the IROC cars ahead, which are doing 144s and 145s. Looking back from Rob Black's entry. The lean.
Yeah, you can see the mid-corner speed difference there. The 944 quicker through the high-speed stuff. Lighter car, a little bit easier on its tyres. But in terms of horsepower, it's all IROC challenge. KEENE leads out of MG. I don't think you'll mind too much me saying that he celebrated his 70th birthday recently, Greg KEENE. And he's still driving like he's a lot younger. Great performance in this motor race. Sven has applied the pressure the whole way through, but KEENE wrestled the lead away, and it looks like he's going to get a victory in race 3 of the IROC Challenge at Phillip Island.
To the finish line he comes, and Greg KEENE will hold on and gets race 3 of the IROC Challenge Series here today at Phillip Island. It was only a 1/10 of a second in the end. Thumbs up. Well done to both of those guys at the front. This is down the field for 7th and 8th position between Partridge and Tony Westaway, the Westbond management entry, trying to use the slipstream.
They've been inseparable, these two. Westaway had a really good run out of the final corner, but can't quite get there.
Man, it was 0.02 of a second between those two, but Greg KEENE takes out the final race here today ahead of Burkhart's. Cameron Bella, the leading 944 car, then Mills, Lewis Williams, Tony Westaway, Lee Partridge and Graham Smith.
Had to sort of, do a little bit of a block here and there, but he drove really well, and I'm sure if we'd kept going, he might have passed me. But anyway, I got it in the end, so that was good.
Well done to Sven, Greg, and all of the Porsche 944 competitors who joined the IROC Series ranks this weekend, Matt. Great weekend of racing at Phillip Island.
Always is when we come to this beautiful part of the world here, but don't despair. We're going to continue on with Shannon's Nationals action at Wakefield Park in the coming weeks there, thenationals.com.au. That's a wrap from the island. For Richard Crail, I'm Matt Nolte. We'll see you soon. Well, don't go anywhere, because after the break we head back to Wakefield Park in Goulburn for our continued coverage of the Swan Insurance Australasian Superbike Championship and all the action from the YRD Supersports.